welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making Christmas cards. I'm really sorry to use the word Christmas in November, but if you're going to have time to make cards ahead of the Christmas period, then it's about the right time to start. I think this is the third year I've been making cards. It is something I like to do. It means that they're handmade and something that I've made to give to people, which is quite nice. So this year I'm using Cardi paper in this small LA8 size. It's 100% cotton rag paper, and I thought it was the perfect size to make cards with. The cardstock that I'm using is supposed to be for watercolour, and you are supposed to be able to paint directly onto it. However, I do find it's best to use watercolour paper and then attach that to the card. I'll be using this colour card as a backing. I find that it just makes it look that little bit more made professional, a little bit more finished, so I will be using that. But you can use any colour card that you have, and you can use offshoots that you've got from other projects. You just need it to be the right size. I've made up some watery mixes of some different coloured paints using my Schminke pan set. I'm going to wet the paper, and then I'm just going to drop in some colour to make a colourful background for a design. Now at this point, I think I should point out that when you're making cards, because these are things that you tend to need a lot of, to give out to friends and family and different people, so I tend to make quite a lot of them. So to make a really intricate, detailed design is going to be really tricky and going to take lots and lots of time. So I tend to try to make something that's really quite simple, really quite repeatable, because you're going to be making these in sort of bulk really. So something that's batchable, repeatable and simple, that's what we're after when we're making Christmas cards ourselves. I know that Christmas can be a quite stressful time. There's so much to do and so much to think about. So the aim here is to make this as easy as possible, easy for yourself, an enjoyable Christmas craft that you can do to unwind and get yourself in the Christmas spirit. So now that this paper is dry, I'm now going to paint in the design. So the first design I'm going to do is holly. So I'm just painting in some leaves. I'm doing the outline first and then filling in. Be careful that the background is truly dry, otherwise you won't get the same sharp image of the leaves. It'll sort of blur. I did try to limit the amount of water I used in the background just so it wouldn't take too long to dry. However, you know, you do have to be patient with it. You've got to let it dry properly. The best thing to do to make sure it is dry properly is to touch the paper. If it's still feeling cool to the touch, then it's probably still wet. You want it to feel nothing, you know, just like room temperature really, so not be able to notice a difference in the temperature, and then you'll know that it's dry. I'm just using some permanent red now just to make some little round berries. You don't have to be perfect, they just need to look like holly. And I do find that once you put the berries in, that the whole thing just looks more like holly. So now moving on to the second design, I've used a 5p piece to draw some round shapes, just 3, onto this next background. And I'm using the red paint to fill in the baubles, trying to leave some areas lighter, like reflections. So I'll just continue now with this until they're painted. I'm just having to be a little bit careful now because this paper is starting to disintegrate a little bit. I didn't think I'd use too many layers or too much water, but it's not holding up to it very much. I think if you're just using 1 or 2 layers, this little paper will be fine, but if you're doing layers and layers, it probably wouldn't hold up to it. I'm mixing up some white gouache now with quite a lot of water, and I'm going to use that to make a splatter of white like snow onto this holly. I'm going to use a clean dry brush to just mop up some of that white where I don't want it to be, and then I'm going to go in and place some more white splodges just here and there just to add to the snow-like feel. I'm going to be using these micron fine liners just for the second design to add in the string and a little bow where they're dangling. You could make these quite intricate and look like the metal bauble holders, but I'm just drawing in little bows. And now I'm going to use this bronze metallic paint just to add some detail. So once everything's dry, you can lift off the tape. I'm going to use double-sided sticky tape to tape the watercolour paper to the coloured card, and then I will tape the coloured card to the cardstock, like so. You could use either design, and then you will have some Christmas cards. These are fairly simple, easy to make Christmas cards, some simple ideas, so I do hope you like them and that this has been useful for you. If you're still here watching at the end, thanks for watching. Bye!